the Daily Gospel Network, spreading the good news of Jesus Christ every day. Join our featured ministry for happiness, healing, and purpose. God has plans for your life to prosper you and to give you hope and a future. Join us as we proclaim God's love and help you step into your season. Coming up on the Daily Gospel Network.
Welcome, church family. I'm Renee Johnson with the Daily Gospel Network, where we bring you the Lord's Word every day from some of the country's most inspiring churches and pastors. And today is no different. Let's check out one of the newest members of the Daily Gospel Network.
Good evening and welcome to A Fistful of Prayers TV. I am your host, Chrissy Christ Anderson. That's Sister Chrissy Christ Anderson to you. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in with me in my new show or segment, however you want to call it. But on tonight's first segment, I want to go ahead and introduce myself. And for those who don't know me, I am a published author on Amazon.com. I am a spiritual blogger at AFISTFULL.com. I am a podcast host at AFISTFULLpodcast.com. And now I am hosting, speaking into my own ministry here with Daily Gospel TV, Network TV. And I am grateful for this opportunity. And I want to invite you all that's tuning in with me along on this journey. Another one. Oh, when you use your gifts, God sure does multiply them, huh? Yes, he does. But moving forward, today's message is going to be an inspired message from my own collection, Shifted from Pain to Prayers. And it's going to be coming from Luke 5:16, but we're going to go through Luke 14 through 16, and we're going to have a little bit more knowledge on why I chose 16 specifically for tonight. Basically, I'm a prayer warrior, and I believe that prayer changes everything. And Fistful of Prayers is something that started out as a spiritual blog to just share my prayers with people around the world that couldn't pray, didn't know how to pray, didn't know where to start to pray. And it grew from there. And those prayers were my intimate moments. And, of course, it took me a while to display them and put them out there publicly because those were my intimate moments I chose to share. But as I started reading the Bible more, I learned that when you begin to learn and you begin to know for yourself, and instead of leaning onto your own understanding, it's better to share the knowledge that you've learned with others and help them and inspire them with your own life lessons you've learned from. So it may help some if they grasp it, and some may read and keep going or listen and keep going. You're not going to be, I had to realize I'm not going to be in tune with everybody, but the ones that I do and the ones that is here, I thank you. And I am grateful to have you aboard again for another spiritual journey for me and with me. And I must say that I am very excited about this journey. This is my first time being out there, putting myself out there like this. I'm out there with the podcast, but far as visually, I'm not out there just yet. Although my book gave my writing a face, my podcast gave my writing a voice. But visually, I'm here. And that's all grace goes to God. All praise is going up. I thank him truly for this opportunity, and Daily Gospel Network as well. But moving forward, I'm going to go ahead into a passage on page 108 from Shifted from Pain to Prayers. And if you have this book, if you ordered it, you can follow along with me. Or if you don't have it, you can go to Amazon.com and feel free to order it. I will personally sign it for you and send it. But for right now, I'm going to read from the book itself. And then I'm going to go over the verse itself. So the message for tonight is my complete undivided attention. And the reason why it's titled that is because it's like you're seeking for a place to pray. And we all know that we sometimes are not sure of if God really hears us sometimes. We're not sure if God really is tuned in with us sometimes because of where we're at, because of the element that we're at, and because of the things we may be going through, or even the distractions around us. We fear that God doesn't hear us. He doesn't hear our prayers. He doesn't hear our voices or our cries out. But in reality, He does, no matter where we're at. Those distractions around you are kind of like tests to see if you really tune them out and give Him your undivided attention in the midst of everything that's going around with you. So, and that's an area where we fail sometimes as humans. I had to learn, and I'm going to go through this. This is a part of my message for tonight. So as I reveal your inspiration message, part of my raw truth, and your inspired message, along with your verse of the night, I'm going to also share a prayer at the end of this message. And I wish I could go into a worship session. We're going to figure that out a little later. But right now, Luke 5:16, King James Version. And He withdrew Himself into the wilderness and prayed. That's Jesus, of course. But we're going to go into Luke 5:14 through 15 to see why He withdrew Himself. And I'm reading from a contemporary Bible, the Message. So it's not what I'm used to. My normal readings are from ICB for understanding, and King James Version for the real deal. But tonight I have the contemporary Message. 14 through 15, Luke 5. Jesus instructed him, don't talk about this all over town. Just quietly present your healed self to the priest, along with the offering ordered by Moses. Your cleansed and obedient life, not your words, will bear witness to what I have done. But the man couldn't keep it to himself, and the word got out. Soon a large crowd of people had gathered to listen and be healed of their sicknesses. And then we're going to go over 16 again. As often as possible, Jesus withdrew to out of the way places for prayer. That was from Luke 5:14 through 16 from my contemporary Message Bible. And let me go into this part of the message, why it's okay to withdraw from things and people and your own internal situations just to have those prayer moments and those intimate moments, because you need your refill. You need your cup refill. Your cup runneth over sometimes with a lot of things in it that's not right, that's not healthy. And we need that refill. We can't keep pouring out to things and into people when our cup is running over ourselves. and we need our own refills. So, yes, Jesus was healing sicknesses, people, but he also withdrew to his own quiet places just to get his own refills from those healings and those miracles he was providing. So it's okay for you to step aside sometimes and walk away from things and walk away from people because we need that time. Those are our own intimate moments to get to know him a little better, get to know ourselves a little better, and gather our own thoughts on what we really need from him. And ask from a genuine and humble heart and place. So, yes, you need your quiet time. You need your peace of mind. You need that intimate moment with him. Those are precious times. And moving forward with a message from Shifted from Pain to Prayers. Are you contemplating a place to pray? Have you, or are you still searching for a place to talk to God? Many of us are. Many of us are, because we think we can't be heard in our own element, in a different element. But God said, come as you are. That means depressed, in pain, hurt, broken. Come as you are to him. And a lot of us don't like that because we think we have to come to him with our together. We think we gotta be well put together before we come to him and ask for something, or before we come to him in prayer, period. And that's just not the case. Come as you are, drained, frustrated, full of anger. Come as you are. That's what prayer is for. It changes things. It changes situations. It changes attitudes. It changes your vibe. It changes you as a whole. Not saying it works overnight. It takes time. You have to develop that prayer life. You have to be consistent with it. We're going to get into that too. So let me explain to you. I used to struggle with the thought of finding that perfect place with less or no distractions. Yes, I did. I thought that if I was somewhere too loud, he wouldn't hear me. He wouldn't hear me speak. Or if I am too quiet, he would want me to speak up. But as I grew up and I began to talk to my pastor more in my teens, he gave me that verse to meditate on. Luke 5:16. And I began to meditate, I began to, read a little more into it. And I even asked a few friends for their opinions about it because, it's okay to have that perspective and on the word. It's okay to converse about the word. That's why it's called Bible study. So if you're in a group, particularly, you have those different opinions, you have different perspectives, you have different ways of thinking to converse and go off. Everybody can learn something from everybody. We're not made the same. We're not made alike. We're not made to think alike. Had we been all one, as one brain, we would. But since we all got different talents and we're made different characteristics, but we're all one body from him. So that leaves space, room, study, and research to bounce off each other from. It's okay to converse. about the word. It's okay. Everybody going to understand a different level. Everybody understanding level and faith level is going to be different. So it's okay to converse about the word, not argue, not pinpoint who's right and who's wrong. Converse about the word. So from that day forward, I started to put my best foot forward in studying that word. No, I didn't understand. I didn't. I was young. I had to be no more than 18. I was young. So I had a little bit more researching to do. And when I say this, I mean you can have the heart to want to do something. You can. You can have the mind to want to do something. But what it all boils down to with that heart and that mind is your willingness to do it. How committed are you to learning the word for yourself? I was young. I'm still willing to learn. And I know I may have some comments or some more feedback from my videos, my podcasts, and even my book. But at the same time, I'm open for discussion. I am open to learning. I am open to growing. I am willing to learn. It's my willingness that makes my commitment completely different to the Word of God. And for my willingness alone, sometimes rain blessings that I may not understand where they come from. But I do know in my heart I'm willing. I know He know I'm willing. I show it, I speak it, and I put it into my everyday life. So when I finally told my mom about what that verse meant to me and what the pastor was actually trying to say, here's what I gathered. If Jesus often withdrew himself to quiet places to pray, then God is all around us. He can hear our pleas and our praises wherever we happen to be. But even though He hears us any and everywhere, He still wants His time with us to Himself. So never stop seeking a solitary place for solitude, because He still loves His intimacy with His children. And I agree. God is a jealous God. He loves His time. Ooh, He loves His time. And I get jealous too when I want Him to be here physically, and I know in my heart, I know in my, I know it's all from the Spirit. I know this. But sometimes we be so into our emotions, so into the situations around us, and so into what's going on with us that we be needing that physical hug sometimes. We be needing that physicality from Him. So I get jealous too. I be like, Lord, I need you right now. But I still get it spiritually. When I start worshiping, yes, I start get them chills. Oh, yes, I know He's here. I know. You have to know too. So, and to let you know, I am an emotional worshiper. I am. And I withhold nothing from Him. I let down my flaws, my dislikes, and imperfections at His feet for Him to correct on a daily without any regret to be a better me. because I know in my heart that can't nobody correct me and change me but him. But I have to be willing. Y'all catching that? I have to be willing to accept this change and go through this change. You hear me? And that I am. I'm committed. 100%. Maybe 110, maybe 150. I don't know. But I do know I'm committed and I'm willing to stay committed. Because I want to see where this goes. Don't you ever wonder what something would be like if you just stick it out a little longer? And I think that's some of our problems, is that when we can't see the end of something and where it's going to go and we can't figure it out. See, that's our problem. We're trying to figure God out. But when we can't figure him out and see where he's taking us, it makes us want to pull away. Like, I'm gonna throw that. I'm gonna give this a break for a minute. I'm gonna go on this side and do what I want to do for a minute. Then I come back when I get in trouble or when I need him for something else. So I'm gonna backslide on this side. That's what we do. Sometimes that's how we think. But in reality, to know is not good for us sometimes. Eve wanted to know what that apple tastes like so bad. But he said not knowing was good for her. You see what I'm saying? We want to know where our relationship with him standing with us so bad that we would intentionally do self-inflictions just to see where we stand with him. And again and again and again, he will tell us, he will show us, hey, you still mine. I don't care what you did. I forgive you, but you still mine. I know you're trying to figure me out and see where this relationship is going, but you mine. Stick with it. Stick with me. And stick around to see and stay committed to it. You'll see where we're going. That's all he's trying to tell you. That's all he's trying to tell you. Because I want to know. So I'm sticking with it. I'm committed with it. I want to see where this goes. So, and I wasn't always this way. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't always this way. I had to learn. But I had the heart and mind to be willing to learn and grow. See, when you're willing to learn, it goes hand in hand with growing, because we don't like change. So when we're growing, we're actually changing too. We're changing for the better. But sometimes change scares us. We get fear in us from change. Ooh, that's new. I don't want to do. If it's unfamiliar to us, we don't want to do it. If it's unfamiliar to us, ooh, that look changed. Girl, there go change coming. I'm running. But change is good. And we don't realize that until we backslide into something else, get ourselves in trouble again. And then we go back and oh God, you was trying to change me. You was trying to show me then. You was trying to. Right. Now you want to go back into that change. You want to go back on that path. Go on, scoop. Because that's who he is. He's a forgiving and unconditional loving father. And he understands. He understands. So you may see me talking to myself sometimes, but I'm really just praying. I have no shame of where I am or go to get that moment with him. I don't care if I'm in a grocery store, you guys. I don't care if I'm debating on two bags of different apples, green and red. I'm going to pray about it. Lord, why should I get these apples? Oh, Lord, please bless me to make the right decision. I know I be wanting green sometimes. I know I be wanting red. Oh, Lord, please bless me to get the right apples. I know when I get home, my mind going to change. Please. By the time I get to the counter, I better figured out which apple you want me to get. But that's just me as a prayer warrior. I put prayer into every step of my life that I live, every step of living that I live. And so if you see me talking to myself sometimes I may be having meetings to myself. Sometimes, but most times I am praying. And that's all the time. So, and I prefer silence when I'm home or even at the park with my kids. I prefer silence. I go off from them and they swing sets. My quiet moments with God helps me to regain my sense of peace while seeking his peace. And we all know his peace is better than ours, right? Isn't it? Ooh, what you said. Somebody give me an amen. Somebody, ooh. Give me a heart. Give me a like. Ooh, what you said. What you said. His peace is better than ours. Because our peace backslide. Our peace, it wibbles, it wobbles. But his peace is constant. It remains. It's consistent. It's still. That's peace. To his words of guidance and signs that may shine through my darkness, he will receive my undivided attention at all times. I don't care where I'm at, what I do, who I'm with. If I feel the need to pray about something, I'm going to do just that. And trust me, if you see me, I've been and prayed before that day. I've been and prayed before I visit you too. I've been and prayed before I hit the shower sometimes. I've been and prayed before I do anything. Before I decide on a meal, I'm going to pray. Because I want to make sure whatever I'm putting into my body is going to nourish me. It's going to last. I don't want to waste my money. I don't want to waste my time. So I'm going to pray. Every time. And nothing or no one will ever change that. Do you understand me? Nothing, no one will ever change that. That's who I am. I built my prayer life. I had to be consistent with my prayers. I had to be committed. I built it. And I didn't do it by myself. So I'm going to acknowledge him for helping me, giving me the strength, giving me the heart, giving me the mind to do this and stay committed. Knowing he's committed to me means a lot to me because we don't get that from humans. We don't. So when we get that from him, it's different. It's different. Y'all have to know what I'm talking about. Y'all have to. So where is your most intimate place to pray with God? And you can send me a DM to that question, or you can put it down in the comment section of this video if you're replaying it on any social media platform. I want to know, where is your most intimate place to pray with God? Where do you talk to him at? Where's your best place to pray?
For more information on today's Spotlight Church, visit them on the internet and follow them on social media. I'm Renee Johnson with the Daily Gospel Network. And until next time, remember, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us.